here and welcome to my living room floor. Today I'm going to be doing the long-awaited video that lots of people have been messaging me over, which is to explore my high school art that I created in high school. So you guys can thank my patrons from Patreon because they were the ones that unlocked this video. I had a goal up that I would show my cringy high school days to you guys, expose the past Ama. And they did it. So thank you, patrons. You're awesome. So yeah, let's get to it. It's gonna be lots of cringe. Brace yourselves. Oh my god, you guys. This is gonna be really embarrassing. I am really not looking forward to seeing this. I've only looked at it like 2 years ago when I moved to this place. I went through all this and it's intense. So yeah, let's undo this. So don't judge, because we all know we've made some weird art sometime in our life. Oh, there's a lot in here. It's really heavy. Like, I've done a lot. It looks like there's some works from junior high, like a few pieces from the 2 college classes that I had done, but yeah, the rest of this is all college stuff. So let's hop right in. So this is a piece that I did in junior high. I was super proud of this piece. It's a cat, and this was something that I had to do. We did like the grids, and in junior high my teacher pretty much doubted me when I showed him the, what was it, magazine clipping of a cat jumping. He was like, there's no way you're gonna be able to do that. You need to do something like easier and stuff. And so I took it as a challenge because Ama is very stubborn. And yeah, I did it and I was so proud of myself. It's really destroyed though. Like, there's some gross stains and stuff. It's been stuck in like closets for ages. This is a portfolio I made for fashion illustration. This was my first semester in community college. Took fashion illustration. It's kind of cringy. Just random drawings. We had to draw awkwardly proportioned people since we were modeling off of models. Everything was done in pen, so it's like not the best. But these were I was super inspired by Lolita at the time. Lolita fashion. This is like my dream outfit. Oh, is that it? That's it. That was short-lived. Yeah, I was really bummed because I was thinking that we were going to have to do like a huge presentation on our works, and it ended up being nothing like that. It's like, oh, what the heck? This is all college, I believe. Yeah. There's nudity in that, so I'm not going to show that. So I took figure drawing, and you draw from nude models. So back in high school, my teacher allowed me to do oils. I was the only one in the class for like the 4 years that I took art. I was the only one in the class who was allowed to use his oil stash, so that was special. Here's one of the paintings that I did. I incorporated origami in it, and I was really obsessed with adding origami to everything. This is like my weeaboo stage of life. So I was really into Japanese like historical clothing and mythology and just cultural things about Japan. So I did a lot of Japanese related paintings. This was one of them. This one, oh my god. So I decided to do a painting of myself and all the things I was obsessed with. So here's me. Believe it or not, this was my hairstyle. I don't know, does it look like me? Was obsessed with octopus, Japanese, geisha stuff, Hello Kitty, cupcakes, zombies, donuts. That was supposed to be an origami crane, but I never ended up finishing it. Werewolves and the like. That was in Baby Alma's mind. Oh my gosh. Another cringy wannabe geisha painting. I believe this one was done with acrylics though. Yeah. This one was inspired by a painting from, it was like a Blockbuster picture, and I really wanted it because it had kanji on it and it was too expensive. So I went home and I made my own, and yeah, not as cool. But come to find out, I think it was like my birthday or that Christmas, my parents ended up getting me the painting or the picture from Blockbuster. So this was not necessary. Let's see. Ooh, freshman year of high school. So this was this 2000? Did I write the date? I think this was like 2006. And then I painted stuff and I like stamped them out, stamped little leaves out. So I was really into Lolita, Alice in Wonderland related stuff. So cute. It was fun back then. And we used to do every year in high school we would enter into the Silver Dollar Fair contest, and I always felt so cool because I would win like second and first place. Here's one that won first place. This was a charcoal pastel fox. I was actually really proud of this because I created a lot of texture in the fur. Here's another piece from the series of the Alice in Wonderland Lolita thing. Hey, you guys recognize something? I was doing eyeballs even back then. What the heck? I never thought about that. Of course, all of my art was related around anime because, you know, that's life. Still is. I really like this cool, like, perspective of the lanterns. I don't know what this is, but the eyeballs being, like, this wall thing being peeled back to see eyeballs, that's pretty dope. And then, of course, my inked out girl. It's pretty cool. I should redo this, actually. Hey, ooh, another, whoa, pastel, charcoal, animal, it's a wolf, some more great texture in there. Probably really proud of this piece. The good old days when I thought I was the shit. Here's another piece. This was an ink and an ink wash And that, I believe, is me. Pretty cool. I did a lot of ink stuff. Surprisingly, I don't even remember that. I thought I only did like acrylic and oils, but I actually did quite a lot of ink stuff. I believe that I copied this picture from somewhere. I can't remember where, what she is, where she's from, not sure. But I believe I printed this out off the internet, so sorry. But the background is really cool, experimenting with wax paper. So I pretty much did charcoal checkered background, and then I cut out wax paper and put it over the top of it, so created an interesting effect. But yeah, them anime vibes. Who wasn't drawing anime when they were in like junior high and high school? This one was actually really cool. This was inspired by Animatrix. There's a short story about this like high school kid, and it's all in like stylized, like sketchy lines, and he's in high school, and the what are they? The guard people? I can't even remember that, and that's so stupid because I love Animatrix. Anyways, the ending scene, he jumps off a building and he's falling down, and there's like a spiked fence, and then it blacks out. So this was definitely inspired by Animatrix. Animatrix is still one of my favorite films. But I really like this angle, and this was done, yeah, no pencil. This was just inked sketching. I definitely think I should redo this, because now that I have skills, I think I could make this a bit more realistic. Ooh, oh, probably should censor that for YouTube. But this is one of those, what are these called? Oh my gosh, these were my favorite things to do in high school. Where you have that metal pen thing, and then you scratch the blackboard and you etch things into it. I did a siren. I was really into like really creepy mermaid people, sirens. And yeah, I absolutely love this. I thought this was the coolest thing ever that I had ever created. And I believe I created this in my freshman year. So there's probably only a few of these. These are my only watercolor paintings I had done in high school. And I absolutely hated watercolors. But they were perfect. They complemented ink easily. So I had gone through this stage where I was creating buildings. Like I drew a lot of scenes. Like I'd pull up Google Images and I would draw like buildings from there, from like Japan and England and things like that, that had like really cool styled homes. So I would ink it all in, and then I would do crazy light watercolor allergies. It's so dusty. So I would do washes of watercolor over them, and I was really proud of these pieces. This was probably my junior and senior year. I started doing things like this. This was another wannabe geisha piece. This was also watercolor. There was a student in my class, and a student, as if I was the teacher. This girl in my class was doing watercolor geishas, and it was so pretty. And my teacher, who knew I was obsessed with Japan at the time, made me look at her stuff, and I was like, holy crap, her works are gorgeous. I'm gonna do the same thing. And I tried to do it, and it was nothing like her, obviously. The Days of Japan obsession is slowly killing me. Okay, here's another mixed media type piece. So, my inked Lolita, Alice in Wonderland inspired girls. And then I was really adventurous back in high school. This is crazy. I did like glued a whole bunch of newspapers down, and then with red acrylic paint, I just made it like a bloody mess. Yeah, good times. Just imaginative. Had lots of influence from anime. We'll keep it at that. Here is one of the pieces that I'm still kind of proud of. It's a simple, super simple oil painting done on this really cute wood panel. And this is actually from a book. I don't know what the series was called because it was like various names, but they were really pretty. Like Blue as in something. I can't remember. But there was this one scene where she goes to the beach, and in the evening she's looking out outside of the beach cottage window, and there's like a few objects that they described in the book, and it was so vivid, like I could actually see it in my mind so vividly that I wanted to paint it. So I did. It was really cool. I've never painted an ocean scene, and I remember being really proud of that gradient in the ocean water. Like, it's pretty. This is one of my first watercolor paintings. Not watercolor, holy cow. This is one of my first oil paintings that I ever created, and I was so proud of it. You can't even see her face. But yeah, so me being obsessed with everything Japanese related, I was like, oh, let's throw a whole bunch of hiragana all over the place. And so I did. And then I remember having my mom, because I really wanted to buy gold paint, but my teacher didn't have gold oil paint. And so we went to Michael's and we bought a small tube of gold oil paint for like $10. And it was crazy. Like, we were just so shocked at how expensive that was. But yeah, and I took my time. I forgot what it was called, but I put the shiny stuff on it. I can't remember what that was. So each of them popped out. This would be kind of cool to recreate for past Amma. Past Amma would be so proud of present Amma. Here is an acrylic painting. Back then I was super into nature things and witchcraft and unicorns and everything fantasy book related. I still am. So I did a lot of these type of paintings. But yeah, I was trying to get the hang of painting skin, but I just could not for the life of me figure it out. But damn, that horse is pretty good for freshman year. Not ever using acrylic paint. Gotta give myself some props for that. Here's another oil painting. This was done in junior year of high school. This is supposed to be me, naked. So my friends and I made like a bunch of really cool artsy friends in junior year high school. I gotta say, my junior year was probably my best year, solely because I got to sit with these peeps. And one time during the year, we decided to give ourselves, I think it was like a week challenge, where we had to paint ourselves naked. And so I was like, heck yeah, let's do this. So I did it in an oil painting, and I remember it taking forever, and I wanted to create like myself as like a tiny person or something. Like, it was supposed to be I was in the shower one time, but then I changed that, and yeah. So that's me. this was my visual kei moment. I got really into visual kei. Oh my god. I bought this magazine from Hot Topic, actually. Before Hot Topic went all into like other fandom related merch, they had like a gothic style thing like way back when. But I came across a visual kei magazine called Cure, and that was the first time I'd ever been exposed to that type of fashion. And I remember being in awe when I found out that the Japanese bands were not girls. I thought they were all girls, but they were actually just really, really kick-ass men who liked makeup and hair, and I was totally into that. So I got really into it and started dressing that way, and this was painted from one of these like makeup tutorial sections within the magazine, and I loved the guy's face. He was so freaking cute, and so I painted each panel of him. I love this one though, like he's just like boop with his hand. Boop. I don't know. Here's another oil painting I did. This was one I got, I think this was when I had poison oak, and I started going crazy over how itchy I was. And my mom had told me, we were talking over the phone, and she was like, why don't you just paint your feelings? Why don't you just get it all out and just paint something? Who cares if it's nice or if it's messy, like just paint how you feel. And so I did, and it definitely looks like something related to poison oak. Here is an acrylic painting. This thing's huge. It was done on a panel, like a wood panel board thing. And it's just wolves howling at a moon, but I wanted to make the wolves look like trees. Yeah. I think it's massive. A few more. This was a, oh, it has a glare on it. There we go. This was a, what was this? Was this oil pastel? Something like that. But I found a magazine clipping of this girl, and I really liked her, but I wanted to do something a bit different. This was more me exploring new mediums and playing around with different colors and stuff. I ended up submitting this to AP Art. It's pretty interesting. Here is another one of those scratch pieces. It's pretty cool. Oh, okay, I lied. Here's another watercolor piece. An ink watercolor piece. This was of my cockatiel. I had a cockatiel in high school and a little bit into college. All the way up until I had a baby. Until I had my offspring. But yeah, I loved the way he would like freak out towards his bell. Like he would get so mad and he'd just like make his head all crazy and like. And so I wanted to paint that. And I did. This is, I believe this was my junior year, getting more into cyberpunk and, or like cyber gothic visual kei realm of my life. And I drew this cutie, and I remember being so proud of her. This was done with pastel and charcoal pencil. She's so cute. And I was looking through these, thinking back, and I realized my style has changed, obviously, because of growth, progress in my art skills. But my interests, passions, and concepts that I like to create are technically still the same because I'm really into cyberpunk, cybergothic type stuff, and this is it. Like the stuff on her cheeks, like the markings on her cheeks, her hair, all that kind of stuff is still pretty relevant. This was one of these cool print things that I did junior year from another Visual Key clip of a magazine, the Cure magazine, and this was super cool. So we took plastic and we etched out whatever the drawing was, that like we would place the plastic on top of the drawing and we would etch it out, and then we would put paint on it. We would coat the plastic etching in paint, and then we would roll it through this super crazy presser thing, and it would put the etching, print the etching on paper, and it just looks so freaking cool. I want to do this again. It was kind of challenging though. This was another charcoal drawing. This was of my two cats. What was his names? One of them was Mastodon, and then the other one was Mastodon and what? I can't remember. Oh my god. It's been that long, hasn't it? This was a picture I had taken of them chilling in a laundry basket doing cat things. So I drew him. There is another watercolor painting of a cityscape in Tokyo. I believe this was supposed to be a love hotel. It's pretty funny. I've been really wanting to get back into creating cityscape stuff and doing it in watercolor. It was probably one of my favoriteest things in high school to do. And I'm not a huge like environmental like background creating fan, but for some reason cityscapes just at me. I love it. Here is a charcoal drawing of my man David Bowie, though I didn't really capture him that well, but yeah. Here is a really good looking guy done in pastels. This, I believe I did this in my junior year, and I was trying to draw Asian eyes, like practice drawing Asian eyes, because there was this guy in my class and he would draw a lot of Asian people because he himself was, I believe, Hmong, and I loved it so much, but I could never capture like the shape, so I made him show me how to do it, and I had been practicing it. This guy's pretty hot though. I believe this was influenced by Paradise Kiss. I ended up buying like the whole manga series of Paradise Kiss, and I was really in love with one of the characters. I forgot what his name was, but he was really punkish and stuff, and he was hot. So I did that. And then I also drew on his cigarette. I don't know what that says. I don't know, but that was influenced by Fooly Cooly. Another Japanese influenced piece, and that was supposed to be an Asian girl, but that doesn't really look like that. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. So yeah, that is pretty much all of my works that I created in high school. It's definitely, when I look at a lot of the high schoolers nowadays who are influencers and post on social media and YouTube, submitting like AP art or doing art portfolios to get into a university, like I obviously was no match. So that's pretty interesting because I kind of thought at a young age it was pretty normal to just not really be all that good at art, but there's a lot of crazy, amazing kids out there that blow me out of the water, and I thought I was hot shit too, honestly. So yeah, this was done in the span of like 2006 to 2009 when I was in high school, and I ended up stopping art. I stopped doing art after a year of college, and I ended up picking it up again about 2 years ago to do this, to try and make this a career, because at the time in high school, the internet, the only thing that was really prevalent was MySpace, and so selling your art online wasn't really an option. From what I remember, pretty much you were either a starving artist or you worked for Disney, and I knew I would not be able to work for Disney just because that's a huge competitive job, and I didn't really think that I could handle something like that. So I ended up quitting art, and looking back at all of this, I really don't think I took art that seriously in high school. I solely did it because it was therapeutic and it was just something that everyone told me I was good at, so I just would just do it. There was no method to it, there was no improving or anything. It was just like, this is how I draw, everyone told me I was good at it, and I just did it. But if I had the knowledge that I have now from back then I think I would have taken art seriously, because within this 2-year span of just solely doing art full-time, my skills have dramatically increased. So I really wanted to show this to you guys. I wanted to show you my cringy high school art to let you guys know that I wasn't always good. Like, my work wasn't amazing. It wasn't like some of the stuff I see nowadays with the younger kids. I drew so much every single day, but it was very passively. It wasn't done to improve my skills. I didn't think that was really possible. I think I was always just stuck. Like, just assumed that that was just my... I didn't even know what a style was, so I don't really know. I don't think I thought about any of this stuff. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys my cringy high school art, just to show you guys that my work is nowhere near it is now, and it would have never been anywhere where it was now if it wasn't for me taking this seriously and applying it and working towards it and knowing that I was going to improve and just learning the basics and just drilling in all that like foundational goodness that everyone hates. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you cringed a bit alongside me. Everyone starts from somewhere. No one is just magically good at art, especially. It takes a lot of years of practice. I still don't think I'm that good. There's still so much room for improvement, but looking back at the stuff that I created just 2 years ago till now already shows to me that it's possible and I have the potential of growing. So before we make this video even longer than it really should be, let's say goodbye. And I want to say thank you to my patrons for unlocking this video and reaching one of my goals that I never thought I would be able to reach. I really appreciate your guys' monthly support, means so much to me, and I apologize for taking so long to create this video. Part of it was definitely because I was lazy, but the other part was that I really did not want to have to show this stuff because it is pretty cringy, even with the weeaboo-ness set aside. I don't think anyone likes their old works. So yeah, if you like this video, please let me know. Leave a comment down below on if you have cringy works from high school, or if you are in high school. Yeah.